So what I'm doing here is I'm replacing the fuel sender, or if you'd like to call it, the fuel pump on my 1999 Ford Explorer Sport. And this is pretty typical of these vehicles. This thing has 250,000 miles on it. So I'm going to show how I'm doing this, as opposed to coming from underneath, because, you know, it's just a lot more work, it seemed like, with all the rusty stuff, and it just seems like it'd be a freaking nightmare. I'm coming in from the top. And the way I'm doing this here is I got a step bit right here and it drills through metal good. What I did is I just put a bunch of little holes in there. Didn't go too far because I don't want to go rupture my gas tank, of course. And now what I'm doing is I got a chisel here and I'm just kind of going along like so. You know, and I'm just going to kind of go ahead and go right around there like that. So, and I'm going to talk about a little bit of the troubleshooting I did to kind of figure out that this was my problem. Okay, so basically a couple times it would have some trouble starting, and what I'd have to do is I have to come over here and go ahead, and there's a pressure release right here. A lot of people don't know about this, but you can get your vehicle started with this, because what will happen is it will actually go ahead and vapor lock on you when you got a fuel system issue. So it's just like that, and you just press that like a, you know, something real small, like a little Phillips head or something, and it'll release the pressure and it'll clear the vapor lock. So that's one of the symptoms. Another symptom was I can hear the freaking thing. Like when I press the gas, whenever I press the gas and I'm on the highway, I can hear it. And it's pretty freaking loud. So, you know, that's telling me that, you know, more than likely is my fuel pump. So I'm gonna go ahead and show the rest of it after I get that plate off there. But I took this tire off too, just to make it easier, you know, so I could look up under there and see if it would be easier coming from the top, and it definitely will be. And this is very dangerous because you got a wheel off, and, you know, this is not a freaking simple job whatsoever. So be very careful if you're gonna do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish chiseling around there. And for some reason my wife was running around the bushes earlier. I don't know what she was doing. What were you in the bushes over there for?
Look at the moon, I told you that, but I got some turnips.
Oh wow.
Look at these.
Wow, those are a cover crop.
Yes, they are a cover crop. They aerate the soil and bring in a lot more nutrients and, you know, vitamins, all that fun stuff over the winter time. So yeah.
Yes, we will eat those for dinner.
Okay.
And I thought about using my grinder to cut that out, but I mean, it's really not a good idea to go grinding around your gas tank if you can help it by any means. Like I thought maybe I'd put something flame retardant up over to, I don't know. And it's just not a good idea. Don't do that. Don't use a freaking grinder if you're going to do this. All right, and now the moment of truth to see if where I scored around there, if I actually hit the mark or not. You know, I could have went online and pulled a bunch of schematics and done a whole bunch of math, but you know, whatever. All right, let's see what happens here. See if I hit my mark. Well, what I'm gonna do, I think, is go ahead and score here so it'll fold up a little bit better. In theory, that should help. And I'm doing this with one hand because I'm holding the camera with the other hand, so it makes things a little bit more difficult. Definitely a glove job. I actually have a glove. Let's see here. It looks like I hit it pretty good. I'm going to take a little bit more material out, but it don't look too bad. Okay. Alright, and there she is. So it'll be a lot easier to replace this from up here. Take a little bit more out over here, and I guess that'll be good. hopefully. All right, so what I did here is I went ahead and I disconnected that right there, and that's what was in there. And I also went, I had to actually, to access this, I had to actually go underneath, but right there, that pigtail hanging down right there, I disconnected that, and I went ahead and loosened all these bolts up right here, and I'm getting ready to go ahead and pop the fuel line off right now. And basically this is a fuel line tool, so you just kind of pop that on there like that, and it also has a clip too. Pop that off, pop the fuel line tool on there, and basically what this is what's already on there. All right, so then you just kind of, when you got the fuel line tool on there, what you got to do is you got to hold the fuel line tool with one hand like that. I'm holding the phone with my other hand, and then with your other hand, what you got to do is you got to put some in there like that and kind of work them together so that you can get this fuel line off. I mean, a lot of people, they don't know that, you know, and they'll be trying all kinds of crazy stuff, but that's how you do it. You know, you got to actually use leverage and work it off there, because they put that on there, they don't want that thing to come off. All right, and basically the other thing down here, the pigtail I was talking about, you see it hanging right there. It comes from this right here, just because I just watched the last part and that wasn't very clear. So that's what that is. All right, now I've got the fuel line off. It didn't leak that bad at all. It's probably because the fuel pump ain't good. And the release valve ball that's in the pump or in the sender somewhere in there, what it's doing, I guess, is it's not doing what's supposed. It's not setting right, so it holds the fuel in the line. Because I'm pretty sure more gas should have came out. I mean, it was only a little trickle. All I gotta do is go ahead and finish getting these 6 bolts up and pull this thing right out of here. All right, and I just pop that off and yank this out, and there it is. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to change out the motor in it. And the way that the gasket stayed on there, so I'm just gonna leave that gasket. It looks fine. And the way that I actually got this off here easily is I put this leverage bar, I just used this end of this leverage bar to kind of, I'm being real careful to not get a bunch of debris in there. But look at that. That thing's she's definitely she don't owe me nothing. All right, so that is the fuel pump right there, and this is it's meant to kind of be done when you do this underneath the vehicle. So what I did is I filed for a patent, and it just so happens that my patent has a hole in the table, so I just viced it right there, and I'm just going to do everything from right here. The first thing you got to do is go ahead and undo this screw right there, that little bolt. All right, so the way I got this off here is this seats, this bottom part of this, it seats on top of that right there, and this pigtail right here connects into here. The way you get that off is you've got to press that little nipple right there, and that comes off like that. But before you do that, what you do is, as you can see there, that just kind of pushes right up into there, and that's all that is. So it's pretty easy. Okay, so presently where I am now, I went and I grabbed the pump, and you have to make sure that you get the strainer as well. You know, I had to go to 2 different stores. One had the new pump and one had the new strainer, you know, so you got to keep that in mind that you might have to do that. There's the old one there. Okay, as you can see here, this female connector is different than this female connector, and it's some kind of a recall thing or something. So it comes with this. So what I'm gonna have to do here is I'm gonna have to cut these wires. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. These wires, I'm gonna have to cut it and attach it, reattach it like so. And black is black, hopefully. It should be. All right, and then another thing with this that was kind of unexpected. Actually, a lot of stuff has been. I'm gonna go ahead and run through it all here. So what I'm gonna have to do here is I'm gonna have to go ahead and cut this off right here. so that just because trying to get this off and all that, it's just, this comes with all the stuff needed to go ahead and do that, and your butt splices right here for your electrical stuff comes with that. And yeah, so I'm getting ready to go ahead and put this new one on here and install it, and hopefully it works. And you want to try to remember while you're doing all this stuff, you know, all this stuff, this new stuff, and the old stuff that you're reusing is going to be going in your gas tank. So, you know, just keep that in mind, that you don't want a bunch of contaminants in your gas tank. Alright, now I got the new one on. Now all I have to do is go ahead and cut this off and do my little bit of electrical work. Alright, now I got her all wired up and hooked in, ready to go ahead and install it. Hopefully she works out for me. Alright, now I got everything back in, same way I took it all apart, and I'm going to go ahead and give it the moment of truth here, make sure she fires up. And if it doesn't, what I'm going to do is go ahead and this thing actually needs a new starter and a new battery too. So that might, you know, it might not even try to turn over. It should. But yeah, so, you know, if it doesn't fire up and it tries to fire up, the starter and the battery work for me, but it doesn't fire up, then I'll go ahead and release the vapor lock like I showed earlier, and then that should go ahead and bring the fuel in the line so that, you know, the engine can actually get fuel. I'm just going to go ahead and leave this wheel right off here, and also I need to replace that as well. This I don't even know what the heck it's called, but it looks pretty important and it looks pretty rusted, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that while I got this wheel off. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood on her, because I'm pretty sure it's going to vapor lock on me. And I'll show that again, what I was talking about, so you can release vapor lock when your fuel pump starts going. You know, it's this blue cap right here. At least on this it's blue, but that's where it is, right there. Comes right off your fuel rail right there. So time for the moment of truth, and this is the true moment of truth. Like, I have not tried this since installing this. Hopefully you know, nothing crazy happens. So, let's give her a shot. Okay, that's promising. It actually fired up a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. Hopefully it doesn't just run out of whatever fuel was in the line and then Lord knows what, but that's good. That's good. Make sure, you know. Wow, I'm like totally surprised that worked. Like that fast. See if we can hear the fuel pump going. I think I hear it, but it could be anything. Yeah, I do. I hear like a, yep. Yep, there she goes. And, you know, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.